Good morning and welcome to week number 4. Before you start on week number 4, please finish the 3 assignments for week number 3. Your video presentation number 1, where you're going to post the link to your video about writing, and you're going to comment on 2 fellow students' videos. Remember that your posts to each other should use academic conventions, and that you should have some substance to the response that you provide to your fellow student. You'll also finish the library instruction final exam. The Write 160 library resources you can access in the review section. You'll go into eSpace, click on Enroll Me, and you'll complete the 8 modules, topics 1 through 8. The final exam is in topic number 9. You'll also complete the annotated bibliography number 1. And to review the assignment instructions, because there does seem to be a bit of confusion, you are going to find 2 different journal sources, scholarly and peer-reviewed, not from just a simple Google search. You will create a 1-page summary with the key points of each of these sources. The summaries should be organized in the same order as what we find on the references page as far as the order, the alphabetical order of the references. But each summary should include the strongest rhetorical appeal, the article's purpose, and the article's intended audience. The sources themselves should be listed in APA format. You'll notice you have the author, the last name, the first initial, the year, the name of the article in sentence case, the name of the journal, italicized and in normal caps for a title. The volume number is italicized. In parentheses is the issue number not italicized. The full page spread, and if it does not have a DOI, you would go ahead and put the retrieval information. The next source is from a book, so it's cited a little bit differently, but follows generally the correct format for that. The other thing that you're going to do is move on to week number 4, starting tomorrow. You're going to go ahead and chapter number 6 is the important one for next week because it is about a rhetorical analysis, which you're going to draft your rhetorical analysis next week. Here are your prezzies on each of the readings, and hopefully they'll isolate the key points for you. What you're going to do is look over how to include parenthetical citations in the text of a paper. You will remember that in APA format you'll have the author, comma, the year, comma, and the page number, P period space and the page number if they are available. So if you have a PDF of your journal source, you're going to go ahead and include the page number. If you don't have page numbers, you can go ahead and just list the author's last name and the year. And there are variations down below of different situations that might change the way that you use the in-text citation. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and open up project number 1. There are 2 sample projects for you to read. I'm not going to go over those right now. What I do want to go over, though, is the project number 1 handout. So let's go ahead and open that. And once you get into that, what you're going to notice is you have done a couple of the assignments already. We did our topic journal. We did our annotated bibliography. The next thing that we're going to be working on is the rough draft. So like I said, those 2 examples will be helpful. I want you to remember that for my class, every draft that you construct needs to be complete when you email it to me, even as a draft. I want to be able to evaluate the whole piece and give you feedback. This particular assignment is a rhetorical analysis, so you're looking for one of your 2 articles from the annotated bibliography that you just did. You're going to rhetorically analyze it, so you're going to look at things like ethos, the author's use of pathos, logos, kairos, organization, sentence structure, diction. Look at the Prezi for chapter 6, and you'll be able to think about all the different things you could analyze. Most students use one particular strategy like ethos and build a body paragraph about that, and then they'll go to a next strategy that the writer used and they'll build a body paragraph about that. But you'll see from the examples in the folder that that's exactly what your previous students' writers have done. All right, the other thing that this handout tells you how to do is how to set up the headers in APA format, as well as the title page, the first page of the text, no abstracts for the shorter pages. This actually walks you through where you're going to click on different first page header, because you'll notice that the header on page 1, which is the title page, is just slightly different than the one on page 2, and that one on page 2 would be the same one you use for the rest of the paper, so you don't have to readjust it. But you'll have running head for the first one and an abbreviated all caps version of the title, and then just the abbreviated all caps version of the title. But like I said, if you click on different first page header, you're able to type a different first page, but when you set up that page number that goes with it, you want to go to page number, current position. You'll see that the page number is aligned with your text, and then you can tab it over to the right margin of the page. The other thing it does is tell you, what the references page should look like. Since you're only working with one source, your references page should only have that one source on it. But sometimes people look up a couple of extra things about their author. So whatever you do add to this paper, you would need to cite. The paper itself needs to be 3 to 5 pages, typed and double-spaced, and that means the text of the paper, not the cover, not the title page, nor the references page. If you have questions about it, though, let me know. Moving on to the next part, what we're going to look at is the rest of the assignments. The writing exercise, you're going to look at this article about texting and driving as if it were something that you were going to actually write a paper about, and you're going to use this article to be support to your paper. But I want to get you used to summarizing, not directly quoting. So when we summarize an article, when we're writing about it in our paper, we don't use the entire article. We usually have a couple of paragraphs, maybe even less. But let's say we're going to summarize these 2 paragraphs in a paper that we're writing. What I want you to do is copy them, and then I want you to open up the online tool. I want you to paste them. And then I want you to type in your summary of this information in your own words. Now, if I were to plagiarize it, what you're going to see is everything is going to be color-coded, meaning that every single word in the base text has been replicated in my text. So I've got some work to do if I'm going to really summarize this in my own words. Clearly, then, you're going to want to eliminate the amount of colors that you see, and you want to look at anything that is still color-coded once you've made your changes to see if maybe you've taken a direct quote that you have added. So you've got quotation marks before 160 characters and down to another. It's going to color code that, but you've actually covered yourself by putting it in direct quotes. Don't forget that if you do have a direct quote embedded in the middle of your summary, you're going to need to cite it, and you definitely need to cite the end of the summary, because it's somebody else's words that you've recast in your own words. Don't forget, we do have an author and a year, so you will be able to cite it. Once you're done with it, you're going to go ahead and submit it. The other thing that we're going to do this week is the plagiarism tutorial badge. It's a lot like the library final exam. You'll go through a set of modules in eSpace. You will then complete the last quiz. You have the chance to convert it into a badge, or to just simply, copy the link and send it to me, or take a screenshot of the certificate and send it to me. The only reason I would say to convert it to a badge is because many other classes ask for this particular plagiarism tutorial to be completed, so then you would just have it and it gets posted in Moodle for you. You'll do the rough draft that we just talked about for Project 1. You'll upload that draft so that I can give you a review, and then you'll complete the peer review forum, which you'll upload. You'll add a new discussion topic and upload your paper, and then you're going to read a classmate's paper and reply to them by answering all of these questions. Please try to be aware of people who have not yet received a peer review, and try not to just keep doing peer reviews for the same people. It's very helpful if you go through this process, and it's helpful to the student that you've peer reviewed. So I'm hoping that you'll be a good student about that, a good classmate, and make sure that you cover everybody to the best of your ability. Now, if you have any questions about the assignments or any of the review portions for this week, let me know. Have a great week, and I look forward to hearing from you via email.